Hey guys, Brantley here again with 30-Minute Fisherman. I'm going to do part 2 of the Finesse Tactics video I did yesterday. And like I said, I'm not the best finesse guy in the world, but I will talk to you guys and show you and tell you what I do and what has worked for me. Because, that's probably all I can do. But anyway, like I said, did a video yesterday about finesse techniques, and today just plan on extending and giving you guys a few more techniques and hopefully show y'all a couple more things that you can do as far as baits and so on and so forth that you want to use for these finesse techniques and stuff. So I've got a couple things here to show you. And again, guys, please, at the end of the video, hit that like button. For whatever reason, I guess YouTube likes it, whatever. I don't really know what happens when you hit the like button, besides the fact that I like to see that you hit the like button, but apparently it matters to YouTube too. I don't know. But anyway, guys, hit the like button down at the bottom, at the end of the video. If you're watching this video and you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe. Got the lure giveaway at the end of the month. Big box of lures in my garage. I'm going to be blindfolded, from reaching area, whatever I take out will be sent to one random subscriber. So, that wins the drawing. So, anyway, guys. So, again, give me that little thumbs up at the end. Hit that like button. And if you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe. Okay, yesterday, guys, actually, I forgot about this when I was talking about shaky head fishing. This is the VMC Rugby jig. I actually just recently started fishing this, and one of the things about this particular jig is, well, if I can get the package open here, show you guys. And again, see, this is, it's like I told you guys, more times than not I'm fishing 1/8 of an ounce. So, that's what I tend to use more often than not. So, okay, well, there we go. And see, it's called a Rugby Head because if you look right here, this guy's got it's kind of a football style head, but it's almost a cross between a football and a regular shaky head, almost like a round head. But you notice you got a little recessed line tied down in there. So again, when this thing gets down on the bottom, and your line's pulling, you can kind of see how that's going to make this thing, flip up, per se, like that. So again, check these out too. That's the VMC Rugby Head. And give these a try also for your shaky head fishing. Because like I said, that is definitely a finesse technique that works. And you can catch some good ones doing it. So, I just want a little quick thing. Another thing, guys, I didn't talk about this in the last video. Now, you see this is a no-name company. I really don't even remember where I got these from. I know there's a show every year here in Columbia called the Sportsman's Classic, and there's a guy that he literally comes and sells plastic worms by the pound, and I bought these worms from that guy. And like I said, that's all I know. But you can see that is just a straight-tailed, a lot of people call it do-nothing worm. This one is black with a little red glitter. So black neon color is what most companies call that. And guys, this is just a real soft, supple worm. And like I said, you see there's nothing fancy. It's just a little, basically it's about 4 inches long. Finesse worm. This also works really good on a shaky head. And you could probably also Nico rig this guy. It's a little thin to get the weight up in there, but I think you could probably get away with it. But again, this little worm right here it's just a fish catcher, you know. Stick it on a shaky head and just go to town. And something else that I didn't talk about on fishing a shaky head too, guys, and this is just something that I've learned through the years on a shaky head, on a wacky rigged worm, even on a Cinco, when you're just Texas rigging a Cinco and you're not wacky rigging it. Whenever you make your cast, guys, and you know, wherever you're casting that thing, typically I'm casting up next to a stump, or I know there's a brush pile there, or maybe there is a bush there, something like that. But I'm usually throwing to a target. But even if I'm not, if I'm just throwing up to a bank, a spot on the bank, you know, what you want to do is, when that thing is first falling, your shaky head and your wacky rigs, typically I'm fishing on a spinning rod and reel, you know, 6'6", 7 foot, medium heavy, spinning rod and reel. Give it a little extra line, or like when you throw it out there, don't just automatically, as soon as that lure hits the water, don't close the bail, because when you do that, that lure automatically starts falling back, because you know you're not giving it any more line. So now you've casted it out, then you're stopping it when you close the bail, and so it's going to come back like this. The better, more preferable thing to do is, you know, sometimes just leave the bail open even after it hits the water, let it go ahead and sink. Now, of course, watch your line, guys, okay? Keep an eye on your line. If you see it jump, or if you think it moves too much, that's most likely a fish, because a lot of times they will hit it when it's falling. But the thing is, like I'm saying, especially with that wacky rigged worm, and even a shaky head, you know, especially if you're throwing up next to some type of target, you want that lure to fall right down by whatever you're casting it to. So you're keeping it in the strike zone, as they say. You know, the strike zone is the area right around that piece of cover where that fish hangs out. And it's kind of like an old saying, some guys say, you know, you want to think of that piece of cover, whatever, as that fish's house. Well, you know, I don't want to just go knock on the door. No, I want to get right in the living room, okay? I want my lure to land on their dinner table, okay? So that's what you're trying to do. And, you know, a lot of times that thing's falling on slack line, like I'm saying, one may grab it. So always when you first reel down, you know, you reel up, you pick up your slack, you reel it up on your wacky rig, because, you know, it's falling. So you close the bail, you will reel up that slack and follow it down. And usually you want to be fishing all these techniques on fluorocarbon line. Like I said, you know, a lot of people say 10-pound test. I say 12 to 15. It just depends on what you like. You know, sometimes you have to figure out these things for yourself. But, you know, so you close that bail, you reel up that slack. As soon as you start to pick up or move that rod, as soon as you start to feel it, okay, like on a shaky head, so you're going to pull your rod up and get that little, start shaking it, so it's down on the bottom doing its thing, shaking, which is, you know, its name, the shaky head. So of course you want to kind of shake it down the bottom. Sometimes you pull to the side, sometimes you pull up. But when you go to shake it, if you feel any type of resistance, any type of weight, set the hook. And yes, sometimes, guys, you're going to get hung up. Yeah, it could be on a limb, it could be on a whatever. Sometimes, though, when you set that hook, there's a big old bass in there. He's got that thing in his mouth. He hit it on the way down, or there's one down on the bottom. That thing hit the bottom. He just sucked it in, and he's sitting there with your worm in his mouth. And boom, you reel down, pop it to him, and you got that fish. Okay. Sometimes that's the bigger ones too. Okay. I'm just saying, those big ones don't always thump a bait real hard. You know, I don't know, for whatever reason, that's just what I've learned through the years. I mean, now sometimes they do. You know, sometimes they hit it real hard. A lot of times, though, they do not. So that's just another little quick tip. Now, another bait that a lot of times, guys, I like to have baits that are really versatile, okay? So I can take one bait and do a lot of different things with it. This is a Zoom Magnum Finesse Worm, okay? Magnum Finesse Worm by Zoom. So, you know, most people have some of the little Zoom Finesse Worms, okay? But this is the Magnum finesse worm. See, it's a little bit thicker. It's got a little bit thicker body. It almost reminds you of a Cinco or stick bait, as we say. So guys, you can wacky rig this dude, which is a good technique, you know, and I'm going to expand on that here in just a second. But so for wacky rigging, guys, this is a little wacky rig tool. This one actually came from Dick's Sporting Goods. There's Field and Stream on there. Hopefully y'all can see that. But this has some little O-rings on it. And what you do is you take the little O-ring here and you slide it up. Slide it up on here like that. Okay, you slide it down, then you pull this worm out to where you know it's about middle ways, and voila. And there you go. So now you put your hook right in there and you're wacky rigging. And this thing has, you know, good weight to it, where it's got that, you know, that thicker body. This thing has a really good weight to it. So you can wacky rig this. You can also put this guy on a shaky head. You know, it'll fish on a shaky head, just like the regular finesse worm will. It's just going to be a little bit bigger. This is one of those little big baits, as I'd like to call them. You know, it's a small bait, but it's still a big profile. So that's something else you can do with this. Another technique you can use with this, just keep the same O-ring on here. And what I prefer to do is run my O-ring up a little bit more on this tail, okay? And then what you do, guys, is here are some Weedless Wacky trocar hooks, okay? I have these trocars, but you know, Gamakatsu makes a Weedless Wacky worm hook, drop shot hook. Owner makes one. Lots of different companies make them. And this is actually a size 1/0. This is a 1/0. And so, get this guy out of here. So now, you got your little O-ring on there. So, you can take and you put your hook right underneath this O-ring there. Well, come on, man. And you can catch a little bit of plastic, but I don't even like to catch the plastic when I have the O-ring. That's what the O-ring is for. This worm actually lasts longer. See, that's not really gonna, I mean, it could eventually wiggle off of there, but you know, at best it's gonna come up and catch this top bulb there on that tail, you know, and see it's not coming past there. But usually I'll still pull it back down here like this. And like I said, you can take it and stick it into the plastic, but that's really why you have the O-ring. So you don't want to tear this worm up. So you can just stick it in there just like that. And that'll hold pretty good. And now when you rig it like this, there's another technique that I had not talked about. And this worm is, I mean, really good for it. Again, guys, take your little finish nail, just like finish nails like you would nail trim or something with. Shove one of them up in the head of this thing. Or lots of companies, Owner and VMC, they make all kind of stuff for Nico rigging. I know VMC even has a weedless Nico hook that's bigger than this one. But you know, I really haven't had, personally, I haven't had any trouble catching fish with this size hook, okay? The only thing I will say, when you fish with this type of hook, you don't really want to use a jarring hook set, you know, reel down and pop it to them. Not really what you want to do. If you look at this hook, it's more similar to like a live bait circle hook. If any of you guys have ever fished saltwater or even fished for catfish, a lot of guys use a circle hook for that. So when the fish hits this and is going away with it, just reel down and just start pulling into it. Just put pressure. But you don't really have to snap back. And usually what's going to end up happening is this hook will get them right in the corner of the mouth. You know, it's typically what happens. But, you know, you don't want to use that jarring hook set because you just don't need it. And you see this little hook has a little, now, you know, it's not perfectly weedless, but it's got some little weed guards here. Kind of help you out in the brush. And sometimes I bend them out like that, you know, bend them more this way so it'd be a little bit stiffer per se. And, you know, some people, you know, take them and cross them back up. They were just crossed. I uncrossed them. But you can also basically, kind of cross them back up like that. And sometimes that'll make them a little bit stiffer. But, you put that nail weight, or like I said, even a finished nail, or you get the little tungsten nail weights, or they make lead ones, VMC makes lead ones, there's tungsten ones. It's all kind of different things you can get. But you slide it right up in his head and see where this has this nice beefy head. It's perfect, it's this thicker head. So then this head is down on the bottom, and then you got your line. So again, when you throw this out, let it sink down to the bottom. It's gonna hit bottom like this. And then look at that, guys, as you're just shaking it. And every once in a while, you move a little bit with your rod tip. You kind of reel along slow and ease pull your rod to the side. Typically is what I do. So you're pulling this thing along the bottom, blah, 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 blah. And every once in a while, you just want to stop and just make sure that you can still feel it down there on the bottom. You want it to keep that bottom contact. And I mean, guys, this thing is just sitting there coming off the bottom. And another little trick is you take some, especially this time of year, chartreuse dip and dye. You got JJ's and you got Spike It. Take this tail and color it chartreuse, okay? I mean, I typically have markers with me everywhere I go, chartreuse markers, or, I know Spike It sells a little pack of markers that has chartreuse, I think blue, orange, and red in it. I don't know how many packs of those things I have, but I have many, many of them, just for that reason, because you can just add color, okay? And like I said, I mean, just look at that, and and then normally too, when the fish comes to eat this thing, I'm not 100% sure of this, but it seems like to me they end up eating it here, or they come down on it like this, And guys, I've caught some really good fish doing this, and that is the, what they call the Nico rig, Nico technique. Again, slide your little weight up in here. They make lead ones, they make tungsten ones, or like I said, if you possibly want to go a cheaper route, I'm laying around the house, just some regular old finish nails, just shove right up in there. Trust me, the bass are not going to know whether you put a tungsten weight in there, a lead weight, or a finish nail. Okay, it's just when you use the weights, they come in 1/8 of an ounce, 16. Then at least you will know how much weight you have in there. When you use the finish nail, you don't really have any way of knowing how much it actually weighs. That's probably the biggest difference. And again, typically the weights that I've used so far, I've used an 1/8 of an ounce and a 16th. I really haven't had to use any other size besides those two. So an 1/8 of an ounce or a 16th of an ounce. That's it. And again, like I said, if that, put this O-ring back here in the center of this thing, same hook, slide it down here a little bit, kind of. And again, when you're wacky rigging, just you want to make sure that you got it almost in the center. So you can, typically what I'll do is take and just bend this thing and see if both ends touch. And then I know that I've got it where I want it. Now another thing, guys, even on this Nico rig, and like I said, I like to slide it up higher on the tail of the hook, but a lot of people do the same thing. They put the nail weight in here and fish it just like this, wacky style. And you're just going to get, when this thing falls, it's just going to fall more at an angle like that. And then pretty much same deal, so this is going to be the end result, This guy's going to be on the bottom like that. So there you go, guys. I mean, like I said, wacky rigging, Nico rigging, all these different finesse techniques. And like I said, get you some of these things. This was not very expensive. And I know a lot of times this stuff goes on sale, but that's just a little field and stream. So it's a wacky tool, wacky worming tool, And get these little O-rings. And like the other thing that you can do is, don't forget, I know in other videos I've shown where for that wacky rigging you can take the little 4-inch cable ties and put them around there, and then use this, same type of little hook. And this is actually a pretty stout hook, guys. It really won't I haven't had any trouble with it straightening out. You know, that's and not just the Trocar one, even the Gamakatsu one. Like I said, Owner makes one. I think VMC makes one too. I have decent luck with all of them. I mean, but I would say my two favorites are going to be the Trocar and the Gamakatsu. You know, it's just day in and day out. What you will see me on the water fishing is either going to be this, you know, Trocar. And again, on the sizes, this is a size 1. See there, size 1. And this is a 1/0. And that's typically the two sizes that I use. I don't see a need to have a bunch of other sizes. It doesn't, so far those have worked. So again, guys, thanks for watching the videos, guys. Like I said, I really appreciate all y'all watching the videos. Hit the like button down at the bottom. If you're watching this video and you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe. I'm just about at 100 subscribers. So, hey, you know, well, why not come and join the party, right? But, guys, you know, get out here and enjoy this great outdoors that the Lord has given us to enjoy. And God bless, tight lines, and I'm out.